Hello, doctor. So as you can see on screen for the presentation, the title is Value-Based Management Control Systems and the Dynamics of Working Capital Empirical Evidence. For this presentation, prepared by Robert and ID. So for the presentation is structured as follows: research objectives, data collection, empirical results, the main findings, and conclusion. Okay, the first I will introduce the research objectives. The authors investigate the relationship between the use of values-based key performance indicators in a firm's management control system and the management of working capital. They argue that the value-based key performance indicators incentives efficient working capital management and create value for the firm. The study used a panel of list non-financial German firms and provided empirical evidence to support their article hypothesis. This slide is for the article hypothesis. The hypothesis 1, the firms with the value-based management control system have a lower working capital compared to firms without values-based management control system. The hypothesis 2a, firms with the values-based management control system adjust excessive working capital faster than firms without a values-based management control system. The hypothesis B, the firms with the values-based management control system adjust deficient working capital slower than firms without the values-based management control systems. This slide is about the data collection. This article uses array regression. The panel consisting of 1,302 firm year. The simple construction in confessing non-financial, non-utility company list on the pyramid standard segment of the Frankfurt Stock Exchange. For the Frankfurt Stock Exchange must comply with the highest transparency requirements. The performer plot arrays regression on the entire sample and created subsamples. The subsamples utilized the dynamic panel system generalized method of moments estimates. The generalized method of moments samples is defined as a subset with a minimum of 5 consecutive years of company annual observation, resulting in 1,439 company observation, spanning 145 companies from 2002 and 2014. The next part is my team member Robert.
Thank you, Edie, for the presentation. I will continue with the second part, which is empirical result. We have two hypotheses in this article, which is hypothesis H1 and also hypothesis 2, A and B. The first one is hypothesis 1 is posits that VBMSC users have lower VC relative to non-users. Hypothesis, as predicted, finds that firms VC is significantly positively associated with operating cash flow at the firm age, whereas firm VC is significantly negatively associated with sales volatility, financial leverage, profitability, size, and also cash flow imbalance. Meanwhile, in hypothesis 2, A and B state that VBMSC users adjust excessive, which means deficient VC more or less quickly than non-users. To examine this, estimate version of model 6, 7 and 8 evaluate the extent to which the average sub-exam samples firms reduce its overall positive or negative deviation from target VC in one period. The estimate allowed to infer about the SOA of WC. Main findings for H1, firms with VBMSC have lower VC compared to firms without VBMS. A better way to understand a firm VCM might be to examine the dynamic of VC, where the current level of VC is presumed to be outcome of the dynamic process of periodic adjustment of VC towards its predetermined target. In the presence of adjustment costs, however, firms do not cover range toward the target level intensely but adjust their VC at a certain speed of adjustment. Main findings in H2A and B. Firms with VBMS adjust excessively VC faster than firms without VBMS. Firms with VBMSC adjust deficient VC slower than firms without VBMS. All the above arguments suggest that VCM may affect firms' value and adapting the what gets measured gets done. In the view, expect that the adoption of VBMCS will affect VCM. However, will this result in intent consequences, for example, value creation, and can hypothesize effect of VBMCS? Example so far, presumably lower level of VC and asymmetric SOA add to our understanding of the VBMCS performance, while the comprehensive analysis of the question is beyond the scope of the paper, and the researcher leave that for future studies, and still aim to shed some light on this issue. The suggestion for the future research, future studies might consider the role of more comprehensive control system packages or alternate to VBM management accounting technique, and relatively follow-up study might take advantage of the rapidly changing organization environment to provide more insight into the contagious facilitating the diffusion and efficiency of VBMCS. In a conclusion, this study aimed to contribute to the understanding of the role performance measurement in MCS play in shaping firms' behavior. Specifically, the researcher examined the effect of value-based key performance indicator in a firm's MCS on the dynamic of VCM, which CFOs consider an important value driver. As such, researcher examined whether VBMCS make a difference down to the frontline operating decision. Thus, the article hypothesized that firms using value-based KPIs in their MCS operate with lower level of VC and pursue a more aggressive VC strategy. Specifically, they argue that managers of such firms should adjust VC more quickly if VC excessively H2A, but we expect a lower managerial incentive to settle deficient VC in the firms. Hypothesis 2B. In summary, the theoretical reasoning suggests a nuanced view on the behavioral implication of KPIs. Thank you for listening to our presentation. Thank you, everyone.